How can I purchase a probate property? There's multiple ways. We get into that next. Welcome back to the channel featuring the leading probate real estate team in all of California. I'm Brendan Mohr, realtor and certified probate and trust specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed California professional fiduciary. I'm also a registered and bonded California legal document assistant specializing in probate work, as well as I am a licensed California real estate broker.
Now, please like this video, subscribe right now. Don't overpay. Want a fast, easy, and no-cost probate service? We have a team in every county in California where we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches through our one-of-a-kind cost savings, probate administration service, and real estate listing combo. If it's in California and real estate needs to be sold, you may qualify. So reach out, even if you started probate with someone else or on your own. Our info is in the About section on this channel. We love your calls, texts, emails, and comments. Now let's get into it. So it's how can I purchase a probate property? Now there's a number of ways. There's some very traditional ways, and there's maybe the way that most are done, but let's get into that.
Absolutely.
I would say most are done through the normal method, being that it's listed on the local MLS, the multiple listing service, which is syndicated to like Zillow, Realtor.com, all that kind of stuff. So anybody looking for a house is going to run across it. And just because it's a probate house doesn't mean it's going to be separate from all the others. It's going to be mixed into all the rest. So sometimes a house in probate is very much marketed and presented the same way another house is. But sometimes you see the photography isn't so good. It's a total fixer, and there's a lot of fixers in probate. It's just one of the byproducts of probate. That there's a lot that just they've been sitting around a while. The decedent passed away, living there alone. Families out of state, all that kind of stuff. Didn't have enough money for maintenance. So that's one way to do it.
Yep,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Another way is through the court confirmation process. If you're looking to buy a probate property, you can actually watch the newspapers, and in a lot of the major metropolitan areas, there's these special legal newspapers that specialize in publication of legal notices. And whenever a probate property is going to go through the court confirmation process, you'll see the publication. You'll be able to find out the date, time, a little bit more about the property. And then you can actually, if you want to, you can go look at the court file and you can figure out what the offered sales price is. You can do your homework. And if it looks like the property is being sold for under market, you can show up at the hearing and you can bid. You can bid. You'll have to, your first bid will be approximately 5% higher than the sales price. So if you figure that in that 5% on top of the offered sales price that you can do something with that, by all means, show up at the hearing and bid.
It might be a deal, and that could be a good way. But there's another way to possibly get a deal on properties in probate, and that is simply through looking through properties that need to go through probate, contacting the heirs and guiding them through the probate process and getting them going. You may be able to get a better deal that way, though the heirs of the estate, or really whoever is appointed the administrator of the estate, is supposed to act in the best interest of the estate, and that's often viewed as getting the most proceeds. All heirs have to be notified of the sale and the amount of the sale, and they all have to sign off on it. But that could be a way for you to purchase a probate property. Yeah.
Another interesting way, and I do know some investors and business people in the probate world that do this. What they will do is they will search out to find properties that need to go through probate, but they haven't gone through it yet for whatever reason. And they will contact the heirs and they'll talk to them, and sometimes they'll find that the heirs really need money now. They don't want to wait for the probate process and all that. And what they will do is they will buy out the heir's interest in the estate. For example, let's say you've got a probate home that's in really bad shape. It's been vacant. It's worth, maybe it could get $200,000 on the open market. And let's say there's two heirs. They each have $100,000 interest. Sometimes investors will go in and they'll say, look, you have roughly $100,000 interest. I will give you $50,000 or $60,000 now if you want to sell me your interest in the property. Sometimes the heirs will say, yeah, you know what, I would just as soon take the money and sign my interest over to you and be done with it. When that happens, now the investor who has purchased the heir's interest is essentially the sole heir or beneficiary of the probate. And they go ahead and probate the property through the probate process with them as the heir, and then they can basically do what they want with the property. That's another way that you can possibly purchase probate properties. A lot of work, a lot of time and work to do something like that. And you may or may not find heirs that are interested in selling their interest. It does happen.
Now, an heir can do that too, though.
An heir can do that. Absolutely, they can. An heir can buy out another heir's interest. By all means.
I've talked with ones who have called us through our channel, called or texted or emailed. I love the calls.
Yeah, me too.
They want to buy the property off the heirs, and wondering if that was a possibility. But yeah, it is.
One other way that's not that common, I've seen it once in a while, is that sometimes an investor will come in and basically purchase the property from the heirs, what they call subject to. In other words, the investor will buy the property and take on whatever debt is there and goes with it. And this is usually in a situation where a probate property has little to no equity. And the heirs realize that, they understand it. And because there's little to no equity, the heirs don't really want to probate it or do anything because there's nothing in it for them. If they do, they're not going to receive anything. So the investor will come in and say, look, I'll give each heir $5,000 and purchase the property subject to. And that's what he does. And with the hopes that when he gets the home rehabilitated and goes to sell it, he's going to make enough to pay off the existing liens and debts on it. And the heirs end up with a little something, which otherwise they would have gotten nothing. So in some ways that can work out very nicely because, as I said, the heirs come out with something rather than nothing. And the investor takes a chance that he may be able to make some money on the flipping of the probate property. That's another way.
You know, I think I said it at the start of the video. A lot of times people want to know how to purchase a probate property, and they're hoping that the best way to get a deal on it, first they'll be looking for ones that I'm listing. Well, that's probably the least likely way to get a deal.
Yeah, if you're really looking to try to get a deal on a probate property, it's going to take a lot of time, effort, and work on your part, a lot.
But for the most part, let's say you find one on the MLS, just going to want to back up on that a bit, because if you're wondering how can you purchase a probate property, and you're just wondering, oh, if there's certain financing that you can't use certain financing or something like that they're cash only. Probate properties aren't inherently cash only. Approach it just like you would any other house, especially if it's on the MLS. If it's in financeable shape, meaning that it doesn't absolutely need a new roof, it's not a total fixer or something, then it may be able to qualify for financing. And you do FHA, VA, conventional, all that on a lot of homes in probate. Just because it's in probate doesn't mean you can't get financing on it. Pretty straightforward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, anything more that you want to know about maybe the probate real estate process, please watch this next video. It's super short. It's California real estate sales process explained in 5 minutes. It'll appear right around here.